G'day folks, and welcome to Gormo's Shed. And this week we're doing a carry-on from last week's demo about making your own flocking. And what we're going to have a look at is making your own static grass. Now this is homemade static grass, and this is the commercial product. Now the difference between the two is just pretty much the colour. And you can make the colour to suit using the methods that I showed you last week with the coffee grinder to do the flocking. So adding colour slowly and gradually building up your colour to create the colour of grass you want. Now the product I'm using to make my own grass is this hemp rope, and I'm buying this at my $2 store for $3, and it's for 7 meters of the stuff, and it's 10 millimeters thick. I also use this stuff these days to make my trees, but that's another story. So the method is quite simple really. I get a container to catch the cuttings that when I'm cutting the rope. I use a pair of aviation snips of all things to cut through the rope, and I cut it at various lengths, and that's up to you how you go about cutting it. But I cut it and it falls into a container, and then I take the cuttings and put them in the coffee grinder, whiz them up, and it separates it into all its individual little fibres. Now when you're at that stage, you can add your colour to suit, and then obviously let it dry, and then you finish up with this stuff here. So it's this one's a bit pale, I suppose, but it doesn't matter. It'll do for a demo. So I've got a bit of polystyrene set up, and so we'll go through putting some static grass on. I'll do the homemade and the commercial product, and you can see how both of them respond with the static grass applicator. So let's have a look at that now. Okay folks, I've got a bit of polystyrene in the workmate here, and so we've set up a little bit here for the commercial product and a little bit here for the homemade, so that's all we need. And so I'll now set up the camera down at a lower level, and I hope it's good enough to actually watch the process as it happens. So we'll get that all set up now. Okay, the first thing we'll do folks is just get a bit of PVA on here, spread it out a bit. We don't need a lot. And this, as I say, is the commercial product. That'll probably do, I think. Now we'll put the earth probe in, turn the machine on, and start tapping. When I say tapping, I'm tapping the side of the mesh to allow the static grass to come through. We're getting a good coverage there with the commercial product, as we should. Right. Now we'll put some glue on for the homemade and spread that out. That should be enough, I think. That should do. And again we'll put the probe in. turn the machine on and start tapping away. Starting to get a good coverage now. Right, that should do it. So there we are, folks, the commercial, the homemade. It's difficult to compare, I suppose, unless they're both exactly the same colour. Anyway, I'm happy with how they're coming out, and I think it works fairly well. Well, folks, it's probably it's a bit more trouble than buying the commercial product. The commercial product certainly works well, and it's not that expensive. But if you're in the situation where you're trying to create a particular colour, something different, maybe grass that's even a bit longer than what you can buy, this method could come in handy. So you could also use it to supplement the commercial product. You know, you can do a bit of, you can make up some of it at home yourself and mix it in with the commercial product to sort of get that variation in your landscape. Which is what I do with the commercial product anyway. I don't usually use just one type of grass. I usually mix them, a few different greens and lengths and all that sort of thing on my landscape. And so you know, you could use the homemade to do that, to give you a bit of variety in the colouring of the area. So that's it, and I'll leave it with you, and I'll catch you next week. Cheers, Gormo.